Hey, remember People Can Fly? You know, the Gears Judgment guys. Well, they're coming back to co-develop Gears E-Day. Wait, don't go! They also ported Gears 1 to the PC and added brand new missions. And they co-develop 2 and 3. Now you don't know what to think. In late July, People Can Fly announced that they're working alongside the Coalition to develop Gears E-Day, and I'm excited. I don't care what anybody says, Judgment is a great game. It doesn't deserve most of the hate it gets, but that's a video for another time. I'm here to talk about what I'd like to see in Gears E-Day as the self-proclaimed #1 Gears fan. Number 1, Gears E-Day should go back to the tone that Gears used to have. I'm not talking about the era-defining dystopian gray, I'm actually talking about Gears 4. The grays were still pretty bland, but that just meant all of the other colors were accentuated. The vibrant greens and the illuminating reds looked so good, and when night fell, holy shit. This is probably the best Gears has ever looked. If the actual game used similar lighting from the gameplay trailer, I think the game would look so beautiful. The trailer is a bit too dark, but when the moonlight seeps in and the pods start glowing, it looks perfect. From the Gears E-Day trailer, we see a whole lot of red, when looking out at the chaos, which is very reminiscent of the Ultimate Edition's ROM scene. The lighting in that game was pretty good, but it stuck to the gray color palette, so seeing the revamped Locust in Unreal Engine 5 with this lighting would be a dream come true. Number 2. The next thing I want back is a 4-player co-op. This next game is probably going to be the biggest Gears game in quite some time. Since it's tackling such an important moment in the lore and going back to the setting everybody knows, I'm under the impression that this game is going to sell so much that you'll probably need a better idiom stronger than selling like hotcakes. But selling like Gears E-Day doesn't quite roll off the tongue. Since so many people are going to be getting the game, it's only fair to pack a 4-player co-op into the campaign. I would honestly be fine with a 2-player story mode, but that would restrict some groups from playing with their friends. Anything but a 3-player campaign, dude, cause what the fuck? Gears 4 had a 2-player campaign despite having 3 characters constantly on screen, which is a bit of a kick in the nuts, but Gears 5, the game with 2 characters on screen for the majority of the game, has a 3-player co-op? And player 3 is Jack? I think Jack is sick, but what? Just go ahead and make it 4 players, I see no reason not to. Number 3. I think the biggest improvement the Coalition can make to Gears E-Day is bringing the Locust we love back. I'm not talking about the fill-ins we got in Gears 5, those Locusts were lame. They were already making Locusts for multiplayer, so they just added them into Horde too, because why not? Nobody's gonna know. Well, I know. You wanna know how I know? Because they didn't bother adding anything other than the basic drones to Horde. That's why we never got a Corpser or a Cantus. That's also why we never got a tank on the Flamers, because they just reused the multiplayer model. You didn't think I'd notice, did you? When I talk about the Locust, I need the Maulers back, I need the Corpsers, I need the Cantus to drop ink when they die, and I need the Flamers to have tanks. On top of that, why not add in mechanics in Locust we've only seen once or twice? Both Gears Judgment and Tactics have some pretty cool Locust capabilities. Judgment has a boom shield that can ricochet bullets and a Rager who's like a Berserker but man-sized. Gears Tactics has a Corpser mine launcher and various Locusts infused with emulsion. I think the Zealot is one of the cooler designs out of those. Both of these games take place before Gears 1, and with Tactics only taking place
2 years
after E-Day, it won't be a shock to see some of these interesting additions come into play. And number 4, the last and frankly most important thing I want is a valid story. The campaign is said to take place over various nights, so it would be awesome to see either a well-crafted original story or some comic and novel adaptations. Novels like The Slab and Astral Fields have some of the most important moments that can connect to the stories we get in the games. Gears 3's intro is directly taken from The Slab. The comics are also really solid sources to pull from. Characters like Jace and Bear take a front seat to some of the chapters, and Alex Brand could finally have a chance to be in the game's main story as the badass she always was. I know that all sounds a bit ambitious, and I doubt we're gonna get some of that, but a man can dream. I've been a lifelong Gears fan, and as I get more into the comics and the novels, E-Day seems to be an opportunity to let their creative juices flow. what do you want added to E-Day? I know there's a lot of questions about something like Horde mode and how that's gonna go, and I'm sure it will be solid. Hell, with the amount of videos I made about Gears 5's Horde mode, I still think that's a pretty solid experience. In my opinion, it's the weakest one, but it's still solid. If you're an avid fan of Gears and you want to keep up with what I have to say about the series, I got videos coming out soon about multiplayer, Horde, and the campaign, so stay tuned for that.